So essentially, we traditionally come to these meetings, we put 3 items on the table for you to pick from, and all 3 are always picked.
Sorry, sir, would you be kind enough to introduce yourself for the minutes of them?
Of course, my name is Nick Skipworth, I'm the Inspector for Cambridge City. So Ian is part of my team as the neighbourhood sergeant as well. What we've traditionally done at these meetings is we'll bring 3 proposals to the table, and all 3 will be adopted throughout the city, so the different neighbourhood areas all pick the same 3 we adopt. Really keen to bring you more options and to let you choose what you want us to do, as opposed to just almost dictate to you, really. So we've brought 6 options to the table today. We've acknowledged the road safety issues, because we do know they're a really key part to these meetings. We've acknowledged the ASB issues, but certainly the CB1 area, but in addition to that, we know Cambridge Lakes is looming, and we know the summer problems we'll be getting around the lakes, etc. Ian's mentioned the county lines. I can't reiterate enough, really, the damage this causes to individuals, the high harm crime it does. We regularly see people being held hostage in their homes, forced to deal drugs, and some appalling criminality around that, certainly in the south of the city as well. Burglary dwelling, we've been having a sporadic but periodic spike in burglary crime in the south. The problem with burglary is a lot of the time, if you're not a victim of it, it doesn't affect you. But we do have a burglary problem in the south, and I will be looking to put resources into that. The same with theft from motor vehicles. We've got a massive builder community in the south that owns all the building work going on, and they're being targeted on a very regular basis. In addition to that, we've got sex exploitation. We've got a number of sex workers, some of whom are trafficked into the area, but certainly the CB1 complex, there's an awful lot of pop-up brothels being used there. Now what I have is I've got a finite number of resources. I want to use these resources to achieve the objectives we think are important to the south, but I want the south to choose where those resources are put. So I'm putting forward 6 proposals to you. For example, if burglary were chosen, I'd be using my extra resources to be looking at the burglary picture and to be putting extra high visibility patrols into those areas post-burglary. Same with theft from motor vehicles and some of the different bits we do with the stuff as well. I can elaborate if you want.
Thank you so much, Officer. It's Nick Speed, yes? Speed is S-P-W-E-D, yes?
S-K-I-P-W-E-D.
Thank you. Can I just recommend to, before I give you the floor, we have 6 priorities here being given to us by the police, and this is to the councillors. If you're kind enough to look at these 6 priorities,
where are we?
On page 32, if we can look at those priorities, and if we can decide which ones they're done, whether we set those priorities or not, their routine will be done in any case, like that, for example, and then we can decide for 3 more important ones. But I will give you the floor in a second. I'm just recommending if you want to think along those lines. I'm not quite sure what this the lady officer there is, who you are. If you want to speak first as well, and then I'll give the floor to the councillors, please.
Thank you, Chair. It was I won't propose to take up too much of the time. I just wanted to clarify that although Linda's name was called as under the Maureen Cttee, I'm Social Behaviour Officer.
Maureen
Cttee, Safe Communities. It was just a clarity, Chair, just to say that although Linda's name was called, she's the manager, and I'm here as the link officer for CB1. So that part of the report was also submitted on our behalf. Okay. So I'll take any questions. That's all.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, shall I open the floor? The first person who was to ask the question was Councillor Dryden.
Thank you for the report. And, I'm glad to see that Cambridge Leisure Park, especially the lakes and Cherry Hall, summer coming, which I hope gets some good weather, on the list again, because we have problems. Actually, we had a meeting last week and they actually broke in that nice warm weather there 2 weeks ago. There was people already in there, so glad to see that. And also the drugs, county lines. There's one question I'd like to ask. A few years ago when we first started doing this, when we asked for burglary, we was told that there's no need to ask for it because you've got a burglary team would act on it anyway. If there's a spike of burglary, you would act on it anyway without us asking you to look at it.
I'll answer that. So yes, we do have a burglary team, and all these different areas of policing will still be policed. What I'm offering the chair and the committee is going above and beyond. putting our extra resources into additional work around those areas. So, for example, burglary, as you alluded to, we've got dedicated burglary team. As soon as we have a burglary suspect, we operate a manhunt policy. We'll go after that burglary suspect. We'll lock them up as soon as possible, because every day they're out, there could be committing more burglaries. What I'd like to do as well, in addition to that, is utilise our PCSOs to put those officers into high visibility patrols of the areas which have been hit at the right times of day. So that would be the additional work I'd be offering, but that would come at the expense of something else.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much. Ms. Councillor Ashton is the next. Councillor Ashton is the next question.
Yes, just clarification. It's similar to what Councillor Dryden said. That in the past we've been told the drug dealing one is a city one because it links all around the city normally. It's not in isolation. So again, we've been told that wouldn't be a specialist one to be looking at for the south area because it links in with others. So a bit confusing that, although you've tried to highlight how are you going to do this, that in the past we've been told that's not a specialist one because it's already been dealt with and looked at. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, James, I'll come back with that. All these areas will be looked at in certain ways. However, what I'm offering the committee is extra work in those areas. So obviously at the expense of other work, but with the drug dealing specifically, we see an awful lot of people who allow their premises to be used or indeed have their premises taken over for drug dealing activity. The same group of people. Some of those people we prosecute because they're quite willing to allow this to happen. They will receive drugs in return for allowing their premises to be used, and we've had some very successful prosecutions. We serve Section 8 warning letters, which is part of the Misuse of Drugs Act, which is quite unique to Cambridge, and we've served 27 in Cambridge so far, and we've got 5 prosecutions on the back of them to date. What I'll be proposing to do is putting more work around vulnerable people, and actually putting reassurance patrols into those vulnerable people, so we'll be door knocking individuals who we think are at risk of actually being taken over against them. So work we'd like to try and do, but I'll be prioritising that work. What I'd say as well is we have a weekly meeting. I hold my sergeants to account in the name of area priorities as well as other areas as well. We've invited councillors to those meetings before. I'm not sure if that invite has reached yourselves yet, but you are extremely welcome to attend and see that meeting live and to see us discuss the priorities on a weekly basis. That's no benefit.
Thank you, Mr. Nick. We have Councillor O'Connell now.
Thank you. On the sexual exploitation item, I see items like this and it sort of sets alarm bells ringing because in the course of my policy work on a national level, I've spoken to a number of current former sex workers who've been told they've been safeguarded and ended up with criminal records, made to half out of sex work or simply deported and had what they regard as safe working practices disrupted, such as pop-up brothels. So, can you give some more detail on specifically what this is? Is this sort of people on the street? Is it indoors? Are there drugs involved? Is there definitely trafficking involved? And is there antisocial behaviour involved?
I've been talking for a very long time on this topic, so I will try and keep it as brief as possible. We've been running Operation Mantis in Cambridge City now for nearly just over 18 months. We've rolled it out across the rest of Cambridgeshire as well, and people have adopted it as well. Operation Mantis is looking at sex workers behind doors. We don't have a street prostitution problem as such in Cambridge, although other places clearly do. But we do have an online community who offers sex for sale to a large number of men in Cambridge, mainly men. This community is by nationality, not English generally. We see a lot of very young females who don't speak English, some females who don't even possess the means to communicate with their clients, so third parties organising the behaviour for them. We ask them a series of safeguarding questions, and just to put you hopefully in the right position with this, because I'm really keen, it is about safeguarding for us. The women especially are safeguarded. We give them packs, we give them rape crisis cards, we give them free condoms. All of this is what we do normally in Cambridge, so this is important to realise. We do a survey with them to assess their vulnerability. About 85%, I think it's 85.6%, don't know what number to ring if there's an emergency. They don't know about 999. So you can see yourself that they are obviously very vulnerable. What I've been looking to do specifically in the south, and we have got a number of repeat places which are used for pop-up brothels in the south, we'd be looking to use the word hunt down. We'd be looking to track down the landlords and educate the landlords above and beyond what we do already.